Hey guys, and welcome back to another Axel 72 video, and in today's video I'm back with another interview and I'm here with Ricky Reeves. Ricky, how are we?
I'm good, my friend. How are you?
I am great, thank you. Thank you very much for doing this interview, mate.
No problem.
And so, am I right in saying you're a 31-year-old cruiserweight who's 5-1?
I am, yeah.
Okay, great. Well, if you're new around here and you haven't subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you're doing the like the video, and let's get straight into it. So, the question which I always like to start off with: why did you start boxing?
I've always had an interest in it. Growing up, like I said, I had a big interest in it. I used to watch it all the time. But my thing was I was a sprinter, so my ambition growing up was to run for Great Britain. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. I had a lot of injuries. But whenever I did get injured, or when I was 18, I had my first really bad injury. I'd say from when I was about 18 to 20, I used to go to a boxing gym. And the guy that trained me at the time was John Buster Keaton. So he used to train with Ryan, my current coach now, at the Ingle gym. And he used to say, "No, you're pretty good at this. You should give it a try." But I never did. Looking back, I wish I'd started earlier. But after that, I tried it again. Didn't happen. Started lifting weights and everything. And I thought, you know what? I do want to give this a try. So I went to a local amateur gym in Sheffield. Trained with a guy called Regan Denton. Again, just to get fit and stuff. And he said the same. You know, you should give this a try. So I thought, you know what? Why not? And then from there on, I had 4 amateur fights. And then I started training with Ryan in lockdown. He said, "Let's get you pro straight away." And then, yeah, ever since then, we've just carried on to see what happens.
Great. And so, do you think, to an extent, you might have rushed the amateurs, or do you think it was a good time to turn over when you did?
A bit of both. It was a good time with my age and everything. But yeah, I do feel it was a little bit rushed. It was just because time's not on my side. Like I said, I had 4, and then I was due to box for what's it called, novice amateur title, and then that was the weekend of the fight is the weekend that COVID hit. Everything stopped, so it just seemed right to turn over.
Definitely. And so you've now since then been on the boxer card, am I right in saying? And so yes, I've got a few questions about that. And so the main one was, how tough was it to fight 3 times in a night?
Very, very, very tough.
Yeah,
although it was only 3 rounds, so people look at it and say, "Oh, it's only not doing a 10-rounder." It wasn't, because you build yourself up in before a fight. Adrenaline's going, everything. You go in and you have that fight. Usually, if you do 4 rounds, for example, you come out and it's done.
Yeah.
But then you came out my first fight to relax, to then get yourself going again. And they were all hard fights as well. They weren't easy. It weren't like fighting any journeyman. You know, they all came to win.
Yeah,
so I felt horrible the next day.
Not surprised, mate. And so in between them fights, you said you had to like psych up the adrenaline. Did you have big adrenaline dumps in between the fights?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really. We did a little bit, but nothing major. I managed to keep myself composed. I'd say, well, the first fight and the second fight I had half an hour in between, but between when I fought Sheldon to Elisay, and they had 7 minutes, so I didn't really get a chance. I finished, walked into the back, sought doctors, got ready, had a drink, I was straight back out, so I didn't even have a chance. So it was still pretty pumped and buzzing.
Okay, that's definitely, I'm sure, a good thing to experience right at the start of your career, because now you've seen like how tough the toughest kind of thing can be. So I'm sure if you just went to go fight just for one fight in a night, I'm sure you think, oh, that's easier now.
Well, this is the thing. For my last fight, I didn't know anything about him. We knew he'd boxed at amateur level, like pretty good amateur level, but that's all I knew. But usually you'd like worry yourself up, and you know, you start doubting yourself, but you think, oh, I don't know what he's about. But I thought he's not going to be anything like any of the fighters I fought. It won't be as tough as any of that. Like you said, it's only one fight as well. which I know it's can't really think like that, but I thought I've had 3 tough fights and got through them all right, so I should be fine.
Definitely. And so the Boxer series as a whole is a big platform, and so how has being on the Boxer series kind of grown your platform?
Massively. Sorry, I'm getting a lot of recognition now. I've had I'm in touch with a lot of like good boxers. I'm in touch with Sky still. Speak to Dylan Chima, who won the lightweight tournament. You know, so it's those little connections, like still keeping my name out there. Still get stopped in the street now and then, which is weird to me, but it's a good feeling. It's a good experience, yeah.
Definitely. And so you spoke about how you're still in contact with Sky, but what was it like working with Sky?
Really good. They were all really good guys down there. For everyone from the media team to the presenters, Adam, like they were all really good. They all looked after me and our team brilliantly, and I'd love to work with them.
Great. And so you unfortunately did suffer a defeat in the final against Ellis Zorro, but how kind of tough was it to bounce back from that defeat?
Do you know what? For me, it wasn't that bad because it felt like I'd won in myself anyway. You know, a lot of people doubted me going into that tournament. I was 16. Was I 16-1? Or I was either the worst, like the outside favourite, or second to outside, or whatever.
Wow.
So not a lot of people expected me to do well anyway. A lot of people, like, you know, even if you just have a good go in your first fight, we're proud of you and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I got a good knockdown, I got a knockout, and I got to the final. Didn't get stopped. Yeah, he beat me, but I felt fine. Honestly, it didn't feel like a defeat, if that makes sense.
Definitely. And so you are, am I right in saying, back out fighting on the 26th of November?
I am, yeah.
Yes.
At the Magna Centre in Rotherham.
Great. And so how's preparation been going for that?
Really good. I fought 5 weeks ago in a 4-rounder just to get back to winning ways. Like I said, I lost my last one at the boxer thing, so get a win again, which I did. Got 4 rounds in. Then we're looking at this being my last 4-rounder. So we just said, let's just get another one straight in and get another one in before year finishes. So yeah, 4 rounds. I'm not sure who I'm fighting yet. But preparation's going really good.
And so I'm sure if you do win this one and you move on to 6-round fights, if you're aiming to go for like a central area or southern area title, it won't be too far away now.
No, that's the plan, hopefully. Early next year, mid next year. I think the area title's vacant in my weight. So we're looking at pushing towards that. Hopefully, after this, if we get a 6-rounder in or 2 6-rounders, we'll try and get that in.
Great. And so you are just kind of at the start of your career, and so I know you've gained a big platform from the Boxer series now, but if there's anybody new that might be seeing you from this or anything, like any kind of thing recently, what would you say to them to kind of draw you in as a fighter? What makes you interesting as a fighter, basically?
I think the way I fight, I do like to try and box on the outside and move and stuff. You know, Ryan Rhodes, who trains me, obviously, if you watch his fights, he tries and instills that in us. You know, the head movement, the moving around and getting your shots off. But I mean, if I need to, I can dig in and fight, which a lot of people have seen on the tournament. There were times where I was getting outboxed and managed to, you know, adapt and change. So hopefully my fights were exciting. Well, I hope people find them exciting anyway.
Great. And so you are just still right at the beginning of your career, and so how far do you believe you can go?
When I turned over, I said the main things that I wanted to do, obviously with me being 30 at the time, I want to, because I've got 2 children, I want to try and earn some money for them, get them behind, you know, in the savings and whatever. Got a fiance and we've bought a house, so, you know, get some money and savings and stuff behind us. I want to try and fight for an area title. I said minimum, that's what I want to try and do. And then try and get a big platform. So those were my main targets, and already in a year, you know, I'm looking at fighting for an area title in the near future. So I mean, I don't really know. I think that's part of the journey as well. You know, just seeing how far I can actually go. I'd love to win an area in an English.
Mm-hmm.
If I could ever box for a British, that'd be way more than I could have ever imagined. But we'll just see. We'll just fight at a time, see what happens.
Mm-hmm, definitely. And so I'll leave it with this final question, which I always like to ask. You've got a little bit of a platform here. Would you like to shout anything out?
Just shout out to all the people who support me, all my fans, and who come and watch me every time I fight. It's a massive help. You know, when you're selling tickets and stuff, people don't understand. It's really hard. So big thank you to them. Big thank you to my sponsors. I'll try and get them all off. I'll probably forget words. So, Vote Boxing, MB Resin, Key to Go, Estate Agents, Jess Hairstyle, Beth Hairdressing, Masterplan Physiotherapy, and the Three Feathers Pub. Without them, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing. You know, I do work at a school, so you know it's hard to manage my time and train twice a day and work and see my children and stuff. So without them, I won't be able to do it.
No, that shows your commitment to the sport as well.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm 30. Well, I'm nearly 32. So I know I've not got long. I know cruiser and heavy's usually gone a little bit longer, but I've probably got 5 years tops, if that, left. So I want to give it everything while I can. So we've got to try out.
Definitely. Okay, well, thank you very much for doing this interview, mate.
Not a problem. Thank you for having me.
Great. And maybe when you are fighting for the area title, we can come back and do a return interview.
Oh, 100%, definitely.
Great. Okay, well, if you are new around here and you haven't subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you do need like the video, and thanks for watching.